appreciate all of you who are here watching me, instead of, you know, doing something more entertaining like watching GDQ. Oh, sorry. I was recording some footage last night, so I turned the audio back to normal volume. No, I could see it, Darkrai. And yeah, you're right, it is probably a coincidence that they probably didn't think about it at all. Because they didn't think about, like, any of that sequence at all. But you never know. I don't know if we'll finish it this stream. We'll definitely finish it today, though. It'd be nice if I finished it before 6 so I could go get my tags renewed. Because the sooner I get that done, the better. Some call our realm a world of shadows, but that makes it sound unpleasant. The Twilight there holds a serene beauty. You've seen it yourself as the sun sets in this world. Bathed in that light, all the people were pure and gentle. Things changed when that foul power pervaded the world. It was all our doing. We overestimated our abilities as sages and attempted to put an end to Ganondorf's evil magic. I hope you can find it in yourself to forgive our carelessness. Oh, Twilight Princess. Roll credits! For the second time. Also, sorry, I guess that's actually a spoiler. So you knew? Yeah, this is actually when they reveal what Midna is. Even though it's been pretty obvious. As a ruler who fled her people, I'm hardly qualified to forgive you. So there she is, very briefly. So, the way she talks about this could be interpreted a couple of different ways. It could be interpreted that Zant was only the way he was because of Ganondorf's power influencing the realm. Like it's like a poison that's been seeping into the Twilight realm. Or you could say that Zant was always a low-level nobody-nothing until Ganondorf empowered him. In other words, there were evil people in the Twilight realm, you know, regardless of Ganondorf. I obviously prefer the latter choice purely because it adds more agency to the actual characters. Instead of, you know, Ganondorf was the source of everything. Weirdest expression in the game. In our world, we've long believed that the hero would appear as a divine beast. That's why when I found you, I thought I could use you. And I only cared about returning our world to normal. I didn't care what happened to the world of light, not at all. But after witnessing the selfless lengths that Princess Zelda and you have gone to, your sacrifices, I now know in the bottom of my heart that I must save this world too. There's no other way. If we could just defeat Zant, the curse on me will dissolve, and we may be able to revive Zelda. Let's go, for Zelda and for all of this world. The final dungeon, asterisk. The final real dungeon. Good morning, Walker. Good morning, Zactaft. Yeah, it's actually funny. The Zelda developers have acknowledged many times that Midna is very popular, and that people want her to come back. And they've never done anything about that, ever. Unless you're counting Hyrule Warriors 1, where she has a cameo. Well, I've got this idea act. It's called A Link Between Worlds. Which would have been the perfect time to bring her back, by the way. So, listen, Laura, can I ask you one last selfish favor? Regardless of what my reasons may have been, I once abandoned this world. I left behind the Twilight, those who had followed me, those who considered me their ruler. Even now, they remain here, suffering, and believe that help will come for this world. But if they were to see that the only help for them was a hideous little imp, don't you think they'd feel let down? It's only for a little bit longer, but do you mind if I continue to hide in your shadow while you're in human form? I'm sorry. So here's the Twilight Realm. It's actually pretty much what we've been seeing this whole time, just a little bit more codified. Nice little bit of visual storytelling, though. So there's the 3 portions of the dungeon, and all 3 of them have this just shadowy gunk pouring out of them. Based on how this is presented, that was probably the very, very first stylings of what we later would call malice that showed up in Breath. Remember that? So that is Ganondorf's power, for like what that is evil, shadowy power, as opposed to, you know, just shadows. Wait, this guy's an enemy, Laura. They don't look different, but they're inhabitants of this world. They're my people. Zant, how could he? Yeah, I know, right, Boogity? Like, we have so many parallel worlds. Can we, like, connect at least a few of them? Please. Yeah, they look like they're doing fine. They're fine. They're fine. No worries, no worries. Ahem. Welcome to the headachy space. Nausea land. Population. Reminds me of a sketch someone once did, where one kid decided to emulate one game, you know, Mario Brothers 1. And as a result, all of Nintendo immediately burned to the ground. And that's why Miyamoto must prevent us from ever emulating, ever! Baby, run! Run, Asian, I tell you! But yes, for years upon years, people have tried to speculate on what the Twilight Realm is, who the interlopers are, who the Twilight are. And the answer is, they're nobody. Let's just call that what it is. They're their own people that were invented for this game and were never used again. That's the answer. Oh, absolutely, Rex. 100%. I mean, I prefer her true form, Bex. I think that would have been cool if they'd been able to do something with that. Oh, absolutely, Poogity, but that's not really what Rex said. That's not what I said either. The idea is that Ganondorf has been here for so long that it's seeped into him, just like he's seeped into it. I mean, I'm sorry, he's been here a century. This Zant business is very recent. Come on. And contrary to popular opinion, a century is a long time. as little lettuce as possible and as many vegetables as possible, and no dressing. So if we roam into this, we get turned into a wolf. Yeah, he's not all powerful. We're prepared to. Yep. This is what happens if we go. Yaw. I think we actually have to do this. I like the ego. Zant has turrets set up around his base, based after his own mask. It's okay, most of his defenders are also phantoms of himself. Now, obviously that speaks to Zant's ego. You know what else it speaks to? His inability to have anybody actually follow him. Ignore the mid-attack. It's fine. Everyone's paused. Red light. Okay, green light. That's a good point, Pavilion. It's been 10 trillion, billion, gillion, jillion years since I got milk. So we need to get some more milk because I've been out for 10 trillion, billion, trillion years. The laundry hasn't been done in 10,000 years. Hi, Trixie. Damn it, Bella. The way they state it, this place existed before they banished the people here. So, the Twilight Realm predates the banishment. Now, it still could have been made for them. It's entirely possible this realm was made as part of their banishment. Hey, should be GameX. Yeah, it's true. It's also possible the interlopers had built this realm before, you know, everything else had gotten started. And of course, Phantom Zant is a coward. The problem is he just has too much health. You have to chase him around and hit him a few times, sure, but look how many times I've had to hit him so far. Which just means running around chasing him, and you get it. It would also work if he teleported less. Who knows, Boogity? Who knows? Yeah, the Silent Realm probably isn't a full-fledged dimension, but at the same time, who knows? So, cool little bit of visual storytelling. The Phantom Ganon's exploding to a bunch of that Ganondorf-y power, the shadowy power, which of course corrupts and perverts us. So that's a soul. It's like the sun of your world. It's the source of life in this world. It is pure power. As long as you have this. Would you take this to the entrance? Yeah, sure. But that, notice how it completely melts this stuff. So now we've got some nice tutorialization going on. And Wall Masters. So, keeping in the trend of the Twilight Princess series, and pretty much every dungeon in this entire game. Go away, go away, go away, go away, go away, go away, go away. Nope. We go down a corridor and then we come back, but the return is completely recontextualized. This time we have the soul. And this time it's a bit of a race, because we're trying to stay ahead of the Wallmaster, which is chasing us, trying to get the soul back. So, once again showing how the Sky City just kind of fumbled the ball here. Because the next dungeon immediately after it also succeeds at the same general concept. Now, I'm going to actually let it grab this, because I want you to see what happens. So it grabs it, but it's not an immediate fail state. It doesn't just magically go back. Instead, it picks it up and starts heading back. And you can actually use that to grab it. So it's a granular fail state instead of a binary fail state. If he gets away, then he takes it back to the previous room. And you got to start over. But I'm okay with that because of the gradient up to it. So that's awesome. Now, the first time through this particular corridor isn't super complex, but the first time back is interesting, and I do like this sequence. Come on, I know I can make that. There we go. And we're just going to avoid all of this. Because, yeah, none of these enemies are actually a threat. They're here to make you drop the ball, because that's your actual goal. This is actually pretty well designed, all things considered. Yeah, exactly, Bella. It's not the game being unfair, it's a penalty for failure. And, because there's a person right next to the door, we see a tutorial of what happens when you bring this to someone, which shows us our very first shot of what normal Twilight looked like. There's even some variety to them. This is also interesting that the Ganondorf power cannot actually resist the power of the sun. Which, I realize when I say that out loud, that sounds kind of obvious, but you get my point. There should be one more soul. If we can find that, it should lead us to Zant. And this also tutorializes another mechanic, which is how we'll be doing the second corridor. And yeah, Zant has been killing off his own people. Which, once again, just emphasizes how messed up he is. I know Ganondorf's the actual villain of the game, but no. No, Zant is messed up. It's actually a really common trend where the final boss isn't the most horrifically evil character in the game, right? Like, that's kind of normal, actually. How often you'll see that, you know, Hojo and FF7, right? A second, please. So I'm kind of... If it's not obvious behind me, I'm kind of in mid-production of move at this point. Or move is the wrong word. We're at the saleable state. So... so this is all awesome. Pluses, pluses, pluses. We've already earned a couple of pluses because of how well designed this is. It shouldn't be a bit dimmer, no. You're probably thinking it's a bit dimmer because there's, the light is being caught a little bit by the fabric back there. The goal is to have the house listed by Friday. That probably won't happen, in the interest of total honesty. But we'll see. What we will do with total certainty is by Friday, the house will be pre-listed, which some of you are aware is an actual state of existence. In other words, this will be available for sale soon, which would also increase the likelihood of it getting sold quicker. And we do want this to sell quickly. Do we get to determine the price? So... There's about 5 or 6 different things that are involved in determining the price of a house. Only one of which is us. Oh, I am so stressed, Jolly Leprechaun. Like, I don't want to oversell that or anything. I just... Holy crap. I've been having trouble sleeping because I'm so stressed. That's an interesting question, Boogity. Well, no, the realtor has to do some work on it. The inspections agent, which is a governmental job, has to do some work on it. And then there's just like the environment, so not actually a person, just the environment helps determine some of the pricing. So there's the realtor, there's the person, there's the inspections agent, there's the environment, and I think the last thing, this is kind of technically separate from the realtor, is this. There's the agency I can't remember the name of, but it's the real estate agency, the one that basically every other real estate person is a part of and a member of. It's a federal, national organization, and they tend to have a bit of influence on keeping track of stuff because they've got databases and records which they use to keep track of how much everything has sold, for, to whom, and when, stuff like that. Either way, thank you very, very, very much, Loner. No, the HOA, thank God, has absolutely nothing to do with the price of a house being sold. Or purchased, for that matter. HOAs have too much power as is. Oh, and I'm putting the 8th Combat X, Project Wingman, and Planescape Torment. But anyways. Oh, neck. Now, the real problem is going to be buying. Selling will be pretty easy. That's not my call, Blackfile. I'm a passenger at this point. Hey, Valerian. That would be funny, Darkrai, but ultimately, no. That's just going to upset the next group. I can't interact with these. Hello, the best trumpet. Could you, stop screwing with my camera, please? Thank you. I would say who doesn't love this game, but apparently there are people who don't. Crazy, crazy people. Thanks, Link. Are there any positives from having an HOA? That's an interesting question. I can't believe I did that. Yeah, I've heard people complain that it's just too good of a game. Or I mean that it's not unique enough of a game, which is probably one of the dumbest complaints I've ever heard in video gaming. Honestly, don't mistake me. I'm always in value of. I always have value in people, you know, trying new things and experimenting with game design, all kinds of fun stuff. But if a game's good, then a game is good. And these people don't actually contest that the game is good, they just contest that it's not unique enough. That's like, okay. And, you know, I just realized today and today alone, I probably look more like a Zelda fan than I am because I've got the Wind Waker thing up there. Oh, that's a blanket, if it's not obvious. It's a gift from my brother-in-law. Like 8 years ago. You know, I'm just such a huge fan of Wind Waker. So notice how the first time through, in both branches so far, it encourages us. How did that miss you? It encourages us to first be regular Link and then second be Wolf Link. So there's some variety even when you're going through just for the very first time. Then we get the recontextualization of having the Soul Orb. Having said that, I might end up giving a negative to Phantom Zant because, well, you'll see in a second. Starfield posters. We'll throw them in the trash immediately. Oh yeah, I've played this like, God, 20 times, 30 times. Hell, I've streamed this game before. Anyone who disliked my Wind Waker take? Not so far, no. Disc plates. Oh, that's even better. Are there Starfield disc plates? Because that would be terrible. See, I can't put Twilight Princess in my most replayed games because of speedrunning. But even if I discounted speedrunning, it probably wouldn't be in my top 5, maybe 10. I don't know, I'd have to think about that. How dare you like chocolate cake? My favorite dungeon? Snow Peak, or Snowhead. God, I don't remember where to start this chain. Is it on the far end? Am I just stupid? I'm probably just stupid. Is he stupid? Really? Hmm. What's your favorite? Temple of Time. Temple of Time's pretty solid. Nice gauntlet, and, whoops. Nice missing my shot twice. And I do appreciate the fact that the second time through the corridor, because it's basically a narrow corridor, everything you're doing is different because you're escorting the guy with the giant freaking hammer. Oh, goody is Zant! Stab. Sweet. I think narratively, in the story axis, I think Arbiter's Grounds got the most story positives. Pretty sure. Don't quote me on that, though. I'm not staring at the document. That was useless. Go away. Stamps did not get a negative, no. They would have been a negative if they interrupted the flow of itemization for things like, say, rupees, but we didn't have any rupee problems the entire game, and I wasn't even trying. Hell, I haven't even turned in all the bugs. Oh, come on, game. What are the stamps for? So once upon a time, in the Wii U's online thing, which you've seen briefly if you've seen the startup screen, you could leave messages, and you could also gain stamps in certain games to add to those messages. So that's what stamps are. Yeah, Prime 2 Echoes has some really severe padding issues. Or whatever it's called. Prime 2. I don't remember if Prime 3 had any issues like that. It's been too long. I only played Prime 3 once. So, who's ready for the same friggin' fight? I'm kidding, it's slightly different. Very slightly. Yeah, we just recently reviewed Other M. So as you can see, there's no reason to kill those because they just disappear when he phase transitions. Which he does as soon as you hit him, so... Sorry, I got greedy there. I shouldn't have. Yeah, right before the Zelda block, we did the Metroid block. So at this point, we've reviewed all the Metroids. Probably Frieza. Yeah, Other M was a minute ago, but I blame Breath for that. In fact, I blame Breath for the fact that I'm about 2 days behind schedule. Now think about it, my schedule is nearly perfect, except for the fact that I'm 2 days behind. The fact that I could plan that perfectly says a lot. Like, I'm sorry, I'll take a flex on that, because... that took effort. Yeah, I hope you enjoy that, Yura. It is the last rumination. The very last one. And yeah, the Oracle's games were longer, Wind Waker was longer. We actually had a bit of padding issues on several of the games. Not the really good ones. Majora's wasn't particularly long. Ocarina wasn't super long. Despite my own personal issues with that. LTTP wasn't long, but Computing World wasn't long. Hell, this game wasn't long. There's a lot of issues with the rooms. Is the easy answer to that question. I mean, the fact that I do it for no pay is just kind of a bonus problem on top of everything else. Nope, I screwed it up again. It's the same time I made the exact same mistake. And I was too slow. God damn it, game. Come on. Really? Interesting. Skyward was a little bit over, but only a little bit. And Spirit Tracks was about right. Despite being as padded as it was. The only thing that pissed me off about Spirit Tracks' length was the fact that I wish the game would end. But it was about as long as I expected it to be. Probably Jolly Leprechaun, but the rooms aren't coming back. Like, there's just too many reasons not to do rooms ever again. Pretty much all the reasons. This point. Go away, go away, go away. Go away, go away, go away. Whoops. God dang it. Okay, so we're about to lose that because, come on. Okay, that's an oddity. And this is going to be bad in a second. Yep. Yeah, if highlights happen, cool. But, you know, I have no power over that. Shorts will continue to happen. And so far they've been doing their job, so yay. Excuse me? Yeah, who needs pants, am I right? Give me 1 second, Dragonheart. I'm sorry, I'm kind of on a timer right now. God damn it, Valerian. We need to have a chat. Oh, God. Keys! It's always keys. You can actually stun him, by the way. Did you know that? Give yourself a few extra seconds. So anyways, I actually went the wrong way. I guess I'll say thank yous. Thank you, Dragonheart, for the sub. Always appreciate you. And if you want to put that towards up to 3 future streams, please let me know. I hope that whatever's going on in your real life is doing as well as it can. Winter is the perfect time for shorts. You kidding me? I continuously am amused that you guys are donating for content that won't be out for like 2 years, by the way. Thank you, Valerian, very, very much. I do appreciate, as always, and I will put that towards FF16, the Kingdom Hearts block, and Patch Trail. Okay, so now that we've got Hand of Death here, doing his thing. He's coming. He's coming. Hey, Spartan. A little bit further. Got that one a little tight. For the record, this is my favorite iteration of the Master Hands across the series. Or, sorry, Master Hands. Christ. Wall Masters. Here it comes. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Ah, okay. This dungeon sucks, Spartan. Worst dungeon ever. Second positive. Or third, I guess, at this point. So that's the first two wings. Now, the third wing isn't quite as good, I'm not gonna lie. It's a shame, because the first two wings are really solid. Oh, it's a little blinding. That's a little blinding. There we go. Thank you, camera. Yeah, mine too. We're already past my least favorite dungeon. The ball will respawn. So now the sword can do what the souls could do. The power of the souls has been transferred to your sword. The guardian deities in my world are on our side, too. You have deities on your world? I guess this is Japanese. There's deities everywhere. That's actually a tough one, because they're both extremely good games, Valerian. I would say right now the no really recommended list, as in the no asterisks recommendation list, would be LTTP, Link Between Worlds, Ocarina, Majora, and this. And Four Swords Adventures. Well, plus the name of our son is Soul, best trumpet, so... We call it the Sun, but it's actually called Soul. You got it, Dragonheart. Give me one moment. I will jot that down. For Ace Attorney Chronicles. Yeah, we live on Soul 3. Suzerain. Hollow Cure. You got it. Appreciate you, Dragonheart. Always do. I don't think Suzerain actually left the list. But if it did, it would be in the waiting category, and it's pretty easy for a game to leave the waiting category. A full crap game. I won't speak about the Smite issue. And that's all I'm going to say about Smite and Smite 2. No, I think we're good. Nobody wants me to go down that particular drama rabbit hole. I have talked to people who claim to be flat earthers, but honestly, I don't believe them. Like, I can tell you, I totally believe that, God, what's a dumb thing I could believe in? I totally, agree that the Zelda timeline was one cohesive timeline. But I don't actually believe that, right? Of course I don't. Like, the problem is, and if you actually follow the trends... there's a fairly large amount of validity to this. If you follow the trends, it's pretty clear that the whole flat Earth thing died out quite a while ago, actually. Because that was an old theory. I don't mean like 100 years ago. I mean like if you go back about a century, there was a little group of people who were like, oh, the Earth is flat. And then they proved pretty definitively that no, it wasn't. And I was like, oh, okay. And it just died. Until very recently. Like, just within the last decade, And all of a sudden, oh man, the Earth's totally flat. And people are like, oh my god, these people are so stupid they think the Earth is flat. And all of a sudden they're getting all this attention. I think they're in it for the attention. Either because they like being on TV, or because they like people gawking at them, or because they like being contrarian, or whatever. I don't think they actually believe the Earth is flat. Sense make? Yeah, it's just another form of entertainment. Oh, look at how stupid this person is. Now, I'm a little bit cynical on this because, you know, I'm a streamer by trade, and so I kind of pay attention to a lot of the trends and a lot of the tricks that people use in order to try and do things. For example, Twilight Princess is a garbage game, and why... No, hang on. Let me actually try better. Why Twilight Princess is so much worse than you remember. And, like, there's a thumbnail of Link, right? Except he's wearing a frowny face to do some really basic morphing. And then I just sit here saying, my god, and I, like, nitpick the tiniest, dumbest things that I know are wrong. Like, for example, maybe I say something about how this game doesn't even have a proper replacement to Tattle. Or, this game has nothing to do with Majora's Mask. Or other demonstrably and objectively untrue things. People will swarm to that, not only to correct me and to feel smart about having done so and get their own superiority thing going on, but also in order to be like, oh my god, is this person so stupid? Is this person this dumb? And then I will make tons of ad revenue. Well, okay, tons of ad revenue. I'll make ad revenue. And there's your strategy. It works disturbingly well, and most people... I keep trying to inform people of it, because the more you know that that strategy exists, the less it works. The moment you realize that person doesn't mean what they say is the moment you realize there's no reason to watch that video, or click that link. Because it's just clickbait. In the traditional sense of the word. It's like a bully on the playground, if I could use a parallel. If a bully on the playground calls you fat, it doesn't mean you have to start thinking, oh my god, am I actually fat? It means they're trying to hurt you. And anything they say has lost all validity because they don't mean it. Let me use a direct example. Bullies in general try to go for the least amount of effort possible. They don't actually want to spend time and effort learning about you to actually try and hurt you because they don't care. So they tend to go for really obvious things. Yes, I am. Thank you for noticing. That's trumpet. I am a somewhat bulky guy. But so, you know, they go for the really, really obvious stuff. The stuff that requires no effort or work to do. For example, the two most common things I tend to be mocked for in my stream are the fact that I shave my head and the fact that I wear gloves. Now, is there any validity to those insults? No, of course not. But the reason why people pick those things is because they require zero effort to see. You could glance at a thumbnail for a second and immediately pick out those two details, right? Just like that. Boom. Oh my god, look at this loser. Look at this bald idiot, right? No, I've gotten that semi-frequently, Rex. So, you see the point, right? There's no validity to those insults because the people saying them don't mean them. They're going for a surface-level thing just to try and provoke a response and nothing else. That's what a troll is. So you tell those people to piss off. It's not like they're saying anything worth being said. What's funny is these are actually gloves that I originally got just because I thought they looked cool. But actually, they tend to be really helpful when you're gaming 9 hours a day. These are compression gloves. For reference, you can see the lining under there. Man, if you figure that out, Rex, you tell me. You know, I don't actually know, Yura. And that's the truth. Does anybody know why compression helps? Like, I do stretches, too, obviously, because, you know, duh. But I don't know what the compression screws do to help. I just know that they help. Uh-oh. Goodbye. Sure. Here, I'll link you right now, Valerian. Because there's this one type I buy. It's this type. It has one weird little flaw with it. Where is it? It's like right here. There's like a sticker that's like right there. You'll notice it's not there. It's because it peels off over usage. So that's just kind of weirdly irritating. But I'll pull it out right here. Here, I'll just link it in chat. Boom. There. Right there. Those are the ones I use right there. They work quite well. They're on sale right now if you want to grab some. Kinda, yeah, Rex. Especially since it helps us to do this kind of stuff. And is functionally a key. So it's a key and a hyper beam moment, as all good keys should be. You get a key and just... See, that was the original pitch for Kingdom Hearts, but they didn't actually commit to it. That's what they should have done. Okay, now this is the only part of this dungeon I don't really care for, right here. This is just a little bit... This is actually a really small dungeon, even by this game's standards. And most of the dungeons of this game are pretty small. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Lord. Lord, Lord, ah! So, left to right. Quick, left to right, left to right. Enjoy the grocery shopping, Bregman. Okay, Rex says left. Ugh! Were we right? Maybe. Maybe. Promising. Promising. Bases are cool. Ugh. 20 rupees. Yay. By the way, we have to go up there. Like, that's our goal. I thought I could take that shot. I guess not. So, we start over again. Come on, game. Like I said, this is the only part of the dungeon where it's just like, really, guys? Really? Because it's slow and it's guesswork. Assuming you don't know the route, obviously. Which I admittedly don't. I know this game pretty well, but not that well. Oh god, it does. It wrecks. You're absolutely right. Yay for mirroring the Wii version for no good reason. You missed. Zant, could you move your big fat head? Thanks. Your bald head. Meh, as they say. So supposedly they would have to, this is definitely a big supposedly, they would have to completely reanimate Link from the ground up to make him right-handed. But that makes no sense to me. Now granted, I have only done like a passing bit of work with rigging, so maybe someone who's more familiar with that could actually inform me of how much sense that makes. Because that smells like bullcrap to me. Well, there's one off the deep end. Oh, come on, game. However. Maybe that was it. Maybe they didn't want to redo the cutscenes. I don't know. Again, I don't know. That is their excuse, though. Yeah, honestly, I've never really noticed Link was left-handed until this very game, and that little thing happened with the Wii version. And it was just like, wait, what? And yeah, he is left-handed, like all the previous games. It's just weird. So, we don't have the big key. See you around, Best Trumpet. Have a good one. Now, I did this way kind of on purpose, admittedly. I probably shouldn't have, because I am in a hurry. But I wanted to demonstrate how extremely easy it is to get to this point and not have the big key. So if we check the mini-map, where haven't we been? There's not a lot of places we haven't been. Come on, game. Let me change the mini-map. Fine. Let me change the mini-map. There's a bunch of chests all over the place, but, like, all of those are little side options. So where's the big key? Where could it be? Yeah, I saw your message about it. I'm glad they didn't talk about the family thing. It is a shame it was just a damn waste of time. Anyways, the big key's right here. But as you can see, really easy to skip. Now, there's something I'm not sure about, which is the second reason I wanted to do this incorrectly on purpose. I'm not sure if we got a shortcut for this room or if we have to do this whole room all over again. Okay, that's a good sign. If that's true, then that's a negative I will not be giving. It looks like it's true. It looks like it might actually take us all the way to the top. It is still some backtracking, but that's literally 2 rooms of backtracking, which is not particularly bad. Thank God for shortcutting. I do wish the platform was a little faster, but, you know, whatever. So, that was this dungeon. Hang on, I'm going to pause. Because that is just piercing. So, okay. That's how it feels about right. I don't know where Sunday comes into the equation here, as, but either way, no. Actually, not sure where you're getting that from. So if you could explain where you're getting that from so I could try and figure out how to correct that misconception. No, I just, like, why would you ever eat Chef Boyardee? For any reason, really. Like, as the mechanic says, there's your problem. Oh, Saturdays. Ah, I understand where that's coming from. So, Arcane will be covered on Saturdays. Everything else will be covered on everything else. So this is why we have to figure out where the source of these assumptions are so we can correct them at the source. So we've gotten bits of Zant's characterization as we've been going throughout this game. But we haven't really revealed the kind of character he is yet. Not really. Okay, fair. Jolly Leprechaun. I have not yet started Arcane. I do not know when I am starting Arcane. I don't know when I'm starting anything. This is the last stream I'm doing for an uncertain period of time, because I do not know my schedule. I know that's not helpful to you guys, and I am sorry. If it makes you feel any better, it's not helpful to me either. So there's Zant on his fancy throne. Isn't this ironic? Here we are, all thanks to the dark magic curse you placed on Lore. You speak of magic. Still your tongue for a moment, whelp, and I will tell you of both magic and the oppression of ages. People of our tribe, a tribe that mastered the arts of magic, were locked away in this world like insects in a cage. In shadows we regressed, so much so that we soon knew neither anger nor hatred, nor even the faintest bloom of desire. All of it was the fault of the useless, do-nothing royal family that had resigned itself to this miserable half-existence. I had served and endured in the depraved household for far too long. My impudent princess. And why, you ask? Because I believed I would be next to rule our people. That is why. But would they acknowledge me as their king? No. And as such, I was denied the magic powers befitting our ruler. It was then In the thrall of hatred and despair, I turned my eyes to the heavens and found a god. Oh, I love it, Rex. Zant is such an awesome character. Literally throwing a temper tantrum. I want to be king. I want to be king. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to show footage of Trump live in action here. I apologize. So Ganondorf has finally found a puppet. Took him about a century. I love how Zant just stands there. I shall house my power in you. If there's anything you desire, then I shall desire it too. Ganondorf had probably been looking for a puppet for a long time. My god had only one wish. To merge shadow and light. And make darkness! So, Zant, of course, has no skill, style, or approach. So what's he do? He mimics the bosses he's already created, of course. This is such a great boss fight. This might be a triple positive boss fight. This is so great. So, that's phase 1. I think he's got like 4. So now he emulates this guy. Not the actual boss, but it said this guy. Hold on. So let's redo our items briefly. Let's grab this, because we'll need this for later. I mean, look at him. I love this. Round 3. And yeah, notice this is kind of repeating the concept of Wind Waker's repeat bosses, but done much better. 1 second. Probably helped by the fact that these are actually different bosses. And yeah, Zant's interpretation of each fight is hilarious. And I love how chaotic the music is, too. This would probably irritate me if not for the frenetic nature of the fight. Just a little too slow. I mean, if there's one thing Zant's known for, it's that he just brute forces everything. So I could believe him having access to this tiering of power. Now he's really starting to lose it. He's mimicking a monkey at this point. And we're more or less literally smacking his butt here. Notice his basic attack hasn't really changed from shoot the guy with my energy bolts, by the way. Getting a little bit more panicky. Now we're going to try this method. Oops, pay attention. Yeah, I just have to be bigger. I just wish I was big. That way I'll be able to crush him. Ow, that hurts. I love how he even actually shrinks. Not just to our size, but further than normal. Statistically speaking, this is probably mostly an illusion. Yeah, King of Twilight, ladies and gentlemen. I know some people don't care for this, and I don't blame them for it, but God, I love this so much. It helps that these fights are fun. And extremely good characterization for him. Like, this one fight does so much to characterize this guy. The whole game has been building up to this, too. That's the other thing. So now he's really starting to freak out. So now he's lost all concept of anything. He has nothing else to draw on. So he pulls out the tool swords, which is actually emulating Ganondorf, but then watch his fighting style. If you know anything about sword fighting at all, look at him. Look at him. Look at his swings. And again, this is deliberate. This is very deliberate animation on behalf of the creators to make him just seem as coarse and crude and inelegant as is freaking humanly possible. It's great. Look at this. Look at this. I'll try spinning. That's a good trick. Which just leaves him dizzy. I'm just gonna chop at the air. That's a good trick. Whoops, I did not mean to hit that button. Hit the button again. I need to unbind that. Holy crap. Notice that unlike a lot of bosses in this game, he hits for like nothing. He does not do a lot of damage. And dead. Love that fight. You traitors. Traitors. You want to know why I wasn't known to call you king? It was your eyes, Zant. All saw it. A lust for power burning in your pupils. Did you think we'd forget our ancestors lost their king to such greed? Midna, foolish Twilight Princess. The curse in you can't be broken. It's placed in you by the magic of my god. The power you held as leader of the Twilight will never return. Already he's descended and be reborn in this world. As long as my master Ganon survives, he'll resurrect me without cease. One of the very few times we actually kill someone on camera. I use just a fraction of the power that's in me now. I did that using only a fraction of my ancestors' magic? Yeah, there's a reason you were locked away. I do like how it shocks her. Like, she wasn't really trying to kill him. It just kind of happened. Let's go save Zelda. The evil power Zant was wielding. I couldn't take it from him, but at least I still have the magic of my ancestors. Don't be silly, Jolly Leprechaun. Goblins don't have families. Oh yeah, and she talks about returning the Triforce of Wisdom to Zelda. Do we have to save Zelda? I mean, she's cool and all, but, like, do we have to? Hang on, let me go grab this heart. Hold on, was Zant even a boss? He didn't have any giant eyeballs. For real, though, that is easily a triple positive boss fight. I love that fight. He did have a giant butt. We'll see. The last dungeon, the actual last dungeon, can take me a little while because I actually haven't done it all that often. So Ganondorf was just using Zant to help him return to the world of light. I guess we know the true nature of the barrier over Hyrule Castle. So, we must hurry and return to the world of light and Hyrule Castle. +1 for Zant's ass. No, wait. Is that a plus to story or gameplay? Yeah, I enjoy the final bosses, but I admittedly have this tendency to not actually do the final dungeon. You know how it is, right? You just quit playing at a certain point. Yeah, Zant's ass is the real brickwork. Alright, so this is actually our point of no return. This is when we can go do all that optional stuff. Okay, done. So, I should actually mention, I did do a little bit off-camera work. I went ahead and fished up the extra bottle. I actually got several Poes. I decided not to get all the Poes. Because, again, I don't really have time in my life now. But if we only got 7 more Poes, we would have done the part of the Poe quest that's worth doing, which is actually really easy to do. And we would have gotten extra bottles, so that's cool for the Poes. I showed off that minigame, I showed off that minigame. And I showed off... Actually, I didn't show off fishing, but I did do fishing. So, that's whatever. And yeah, so at this point, it would be mostly running around doing all that stuff that we usually skip during these kind of reviews. So we've done all the actual notable content on camera. So. We also did the most important optional content in this game. We got all the hidden skills. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we also got all the bugs, which we still haven't turned in and are not going to, because there's no reason to. Yeah, we'll see how the actual final gauntlet goes. I'm pretty sure the final boss will be a bundle of positives as well, but I don't know how many of those will be to gameplay. Because the final bosses in this game are much better on story than gameplay. Just like in Wind Waker, actually. We could invest in Bitcoin. Sign me the hell up. I can't wait to lose my money on a scam. So there's where we can go do that now in order to get the quiver. Don't care. So, my son said he wanted to write you a letter. He worked so hard on it. Goodness, yes. We thank you for all your help, both on land and sky. The other Uka thank you as well. Come visit us anytime. Take care. And the son's letter says, wow, kid, awesome. And that's it. After we parted, I tried that word on all the statues I could find in Hyrule, but it's a disaster. But if I let something so small get to me, my dear father will scoff at me from beyond the mortal coil. I'm going to back to my sanctuary in Kakariko Village to see if I can't find another lead. I certainly hope that if you find any information, you'll share it with me post-haste. Yeah, so we've been to the sky, Chad? Is that how? I would say yes, actually, Rex. And hopefully that will definitely remain true. Cough, cough, cheers the kingdom. Yeah, how many... Okay. If we were close to heart pieces, I might have gotten another heart piece to cap it off, but we still need 3. So screw that. Let's go. Unfortunately, we cannot go. So we have to say thank you first. Thank you very, very much, disposable puppets. Always appreciate. Thank you. We did both Western towns, Darkrai, yes. So this is kind of weird. I think the intent here is she's trying to control it. So, this is technically her second form. Spider octopus form. I have no idea why she looks like a giant squid octopus spider thing. Aww. Adult ones, the thirds are her final form. Alright, Link, now kiss. What do you mean only in the manga? Final dungeon. So, here's the prize that Ganondorf was denied all those years ago. Hope it was worth it, buddy. So the front door's locked. Okay. That makes sense. Kind of wish there was some music playing. There will be music later, but like, what the hell, game? Oh, absolutely not, Blades of Fall. This is sunk cost fallacy in more or less the literal sense of the word. Oh my god, everyone's like, no, quick! Donate so he can't finish streaming, and he can't go, move. Thank you, Cashel. I will jot that down for Ys 8, Blade 3, and FF7R2. And Nightwing, I will put that towards the BRPG block. Outer Worlds 2, and Deponia. That reminds me, anybody who's on Patreon, I might do a Patreon post this week if I have time and a computer that's hooked up. I can't do it until after the 1st, for pretty obvious reasons. Yeah, how do they go from Midna to Phi? God dang. Just... How do you screw up that hard? One moment, please. Come on, load. I have a lot of time here. I mean, this is one of the best Zelda songs ever, in my opinion. I did a mix of this song like a day after I heard it because I was so inspired by it. I called it Once in Future Hyrule. I have come to play. Okay. Damn it. God damn it, game. Damn it, game. Wow, that did no damage at all. Yeah, this guy does a little more damage than Zant did. Now! Goddamn bats. Alright, here you go. Enough. I follow the strongest side. That is all I've ever known. I think you're right, Disposable Puppets. He's kind of our Dark Nut equivalent. Or Iron Knuckle, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
He spoke. Yeah, he actually can talk. So, back to the music. I don't know where it is in Arkham Axis. I don't remember where it is. If you want to tell me where it is, cool. If not, death. God damn, I can't even get a charged attack off. Whatever. Yeah, I should hope this sounds like Breath of the Wild. There's only one song that contests this for my favorite song in the entire franchise. This is just such a good song. In fact, it's actually two really, really great songs. Yeah, The Dark World from LTTP. Specifically the LTTP version. I like how triumphant this song sounds, considering. God, this thing steers like a stuck pig. Well, we'll see, Sean. We'll see. It's got some competition. Link Between Worlds is pretty far up there. Okay. Hang on. In Breath of the Wild? I'm not sure, because, and I don't mean this as a dig, I don't remember any of the Breath of the Wild music, other than the random piano tidbits and, like, the battle songs. And this. So. I don't know. Oh yeah, and the shrine theme, which I had forgotten about until 5 seconds ago. Thanks for that. Oh, in this game? This song isn't in this game. Why am I still too far away from this stupid thing? Yeah, no, there is no music playing right now. God damn it, it's right there! Why can't I... Oh, right, can only have 5 at a time. God damn it. Okay, fine. Let's do this. So... Yeah, I get it. It's telling me the order. I just can't tell where to start. Here. I think it starts here. Yeah. Turn. There we go. Hey. Woohoo! Something completely worthless. Good morning, Trinidad. ¿Cómo está usted? ¿Cómo está usted? There we go. God. Sorry. A little out of practice. Yeah, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry. Since so many people are getting confused, let me go ahead and pause the extremely awesome music. We can listen to the game as God intended. Sweet. It was worth it. All of this was for a stamp. Jesus Christ. That was all that this branch was for a freaking stamp. And a map. So I don't know where the graveyard is. Are they, like, labeled? Where's the graveyard? That looks kind of graveyardy. I might have missed a key? They're for the Wii U main menu thing, yeah. Yeah, this kind of rainy ambiance can work, but not for too long, you know? So this looked kind of graveyardy on the map, but it obviously isn't. So I'm starting to think you're lying to me and there is no graveyard, because this is the end of the left path. Why would you lie to me on Arkham Axis? Why would you do this? I'm gonna need your right pinky. So anyways, not super impressed with the final dungeon so far. But at least there's some music inside. Wow, this place is opulent. Good lord. Never knew a sign of how decadent the kingdom was getting. I'm staring at it. Look at this place. I mean, not like Ganondorf's gonna do anything better. I'm pretty sure he has no idea how to rule at this point. He's never had any practice at it. The only Ganondorf ever had a chance to practice at it didn't bother. What's that Simpsons joke? The wave of tyranny and fear is over. Let us begin a new wave of fear, tyranny, and fear. Yeah, no kidding, Bionic Monk. Another sign of the stagnation of the frickin' country. Anytime they give you free oil, that's a suspicious sign. So we're gonna go ahead and refill here. Hello, Dream Whisperer. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm cutting off the guessing game pretty soon. You haven't got your guesses in? If you type !guess into chat right now, you'll have a link to the guessing sheet. You just add your name on the left column, add your guess in the middle column, and add, if you win, what games you want to put that towards in the right column. You get to pick up to 3 things, just like usual. It's an editable document, so... Why not, Bill? Because people like to get fancy with their names, Blue Fusion Bolt. Don't you like cosmetics? Wait, you don't like cosmetics? Well, never mind then. For Christ's sakes, what's the order? I don't even get the joke, Jungle Leprechaun, I'm sorry. Hey, Telmarud. Just wasting all my lamp fuel here. Wait, what? And it's already wrong. Okay, so it must be the exact opposite then. Oh, but the lamp oil is down below, and I don't want to do that again. Alright, whatever. Never mind. I was going to refill my lamp oil. I probably need it. Could you drop something other than rupees, please? I know that rupees are like health, but seriously. I'll be with you in a minute. I know I got stuck here. 100%. Oh yeah, by the way, one last little tidbit of connection between the Snowhead Ruins and Hyrule Castle. These are the armors that were up at the Snowhead Ruins. These things. I mean, we do have the armor. We can just turn on invincibility at will if we really need to. Oh my god. Let me make my position here very clear. Yeah, when you have no rupees, you get slowed to like a crawl. As if you're wearing the iron boots. Possibly with none of the benefits of the iron boots. And the armor stops working. Yes? I am. What's up? Okay. Is it urgent? Okay. Okay, thank you for telling me. Hello, Takoida. Yeah, make sure you get your guesses in. We're about halfway through, I'd say. Shortcut get. So I'll give him that. At least this dungeon has some honest-to-God shortcuts. This is serious business, Jolly Leprechaun. God damn it. I actually got turned around. This is actually the in-game music, finally. Although, as it happens, I do actually have this song in my playlist. My last dungeon playlist. But yeah, no, it feels like Ganondorf just completely emptied the whole place, which makes sense. As I've pointed out a few times, I sincerely doubt it ever even occurred to him what to do after he took Hyrule Castle. So he's just kind of squatting on it. So, this has been pretty decent, so I'm going to pause right here. Like, there's been some good, there's been some bad, there's been some in-between. But, I would say, let's go with, like, a generic level positive. I'm not going to give the music negative, actually. Yeah, there's no Gerudo, there's no anything. Similar to Zant, no one actually follows him, except for those who are coerced into doing so. Sorry, one moment. Yeah, there's nothing but monsters here. This is going to be contentious, but I'm giving Zant a full triple story positive. I don't care. He is an awesome villain. He is, in my opinion, the best villain we've ever had in this franchise. Like, he's not perfect. They could do better, and they could do more, but that still puts him at the top of the heap, in my opinion. Admittedly, there's not much competition. So, think of that what you will. So now let's give a negative to story, shall we? Okay, it's one Lizalfos guy, one flying Lizalfos. Cool. Let's make sure we have the right item equipped. Remember, we've literally fought 2 of these at the same time already. Just keep that in mind for a minute now. Okay, I think I was actually outside the wall for just a second there. Yeah, we go from Zant to Agony, to Girahim and Demise, and then to nothing, or I guess Yugo, or whatever his name was, of the Yiga clan, in Breath. Okay, so that was kind of pathetic. I don't know what AOC is, I'm sorry. TMA. Age of what's Age of Calamity? Oh, there's the big key. Oh no! It's one guy with an arrow! We're dead. But it's okay. We're saved at the last minute. Because we were in such danger from 2 archers and 4 dudes. Keep in mind, we've been fighting bigger groups than this in this dungeon alone. I know some people disagree with me on this, but I hate this cutscene. It's supposed to be, you know, the allies come to aid kind of a thing, right? My friends are my power. But it doesn't do anything with it. And these guys were barely characters. And that was it. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, it's inoffensive and quick enough that I'm only going to give the 1 negative for that. But, I mean, honestly, what was that? It's like they just wanted to remind you that they exist. Because, spoilers, they have now left the game and will not be seen again until the ending. I don't actually remember if they're in the ending, to be honest with you. So, I hope you liked that. We helped by... Music's starting to escalate. We're cutting off the guessing game basically now. If you haven't got your guesses in, well, then it sucks to be you. Yeah, you notice Ilya's just left the narrative, too. I guess this would be here, wouldn't it? So, this should be fun. We know what that sound means, so the game is encouraging us to do this. Which is actually a bit of nice tutorialization. Because what they want is for us to be seeing the dead Hyrule Castle guards who were all murdered. Either by Zant or Ganondorf. Take your pick. But they show us the path through there. Nice little bit of storytelling. Don't fall here, because you have to do it again. And yeah, Ganon's theme slowly taking over as we slowly go further and further up into Ganon's tower. Notice this area is a lot more dilapidated. Now, whether this is because Ganondorf has been wrecking this place or because it looked like this before he got here is up to you, but I like to think that Ganondorf was wrecking this area. However, what's probably more likely, the probable intent here, is they probably wanted it to be like his evil influence is spreading and affecting the castle kind of a thing, which, you know, makes no sense. So I was stuck here for a very long time because even though there's something drawing your attention to the lamps, they look like lamps. They do not look like grapple shots. So I was stuck here for an inordinate period of time. Wow, someone guessed 600 for this. Jesus. I noticed the smallest guess is in the 200s. Fair. One last big guy, I believe. All good. I didn't find the graveyards. That's on me. And of course, pay attention to the time of day during the course of these events. Of course, we are currently in the state of Twilight. What else would it be? Naturally, the first thing he would do is deface the statue of the goddesses. Probably not a great thing to do, considering they're the only real source of your power, but, well, Ganondorf is not known for his intellect. Welcome to my castle. So you're Ganondorf. Still wielding the sage's sword, by the way. Still has the wound from it, too. I've been dying to meet you. Your people have long amused me, Minna. To defy the gods with such petty magic, only to be cast aside. How very pathetic. Pathetic as they were, though, they served me well. Their anguish was my nourishment. Their hatred bled across the void and awakened me. I drew deep of it and grew strong again. Your people had some skill, to be sure, but they lacked true power. Kind of absolute power that only those chosen by the gods wield. He who wields such power would make a suitable king for this world, don't you think? Such conceit! But if you're the one of the chosen wielder's powers you claim, I'll risk everything to deny you. Shadow has been moved by light, it seems. No, this beard actually predates Twilight Princess. How amusing. Very well. Deny me, then. You must try to deny me, you and your little friend. So round one without Midna. Both of you faithless fools who dare to take up arms against the King of Light and Shadow. So you choose, and so you shall feel my wrath. And a nice little tidbit is that he is so petty here. Just like Zant, his ambitions are actually minuscule, relatively speaking. Come on, game. Game. All he wants to do is be king, after all, since it was the thing he was denied. And it's even worse than that. In Ocarina, Ganondorf got together his forces, claimed the Triforce of Power, took over the kingdom, tried to exert his power over people, and then people resisted him, so he kept kind of trying to do it, but eventually he was defeated and locked away. He then spent time and effort learning about the fact that he lost and trying to develop past that. That led to the Wind Waker Ganondorf. But this isn't that Ganondorf. This Ganondorf was like, alright, I'm going to take Hyrule. Got ready to get his plans going. Hadn't even gotten his army together yet. And just kind of lost. I don't know why I keep doing that. Can you imagine for a second what that would feel like? Not that I want to sympathize with this asshole. But really picture what that would feel like to be like, alright, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make this happen. And then you instantly lose before the fight even starts. Metaphorically speaking, before he sat down at the chess table, it was declared that he was the loser. And so, that sucked. But more importantly, he never got to learn from that. He never grew. He never understood loss. Instead, all he ever knew was the resentment that built in him. So he is nothing but spiteful and petty at this point in time. So he's going to get the thing that he was denied, Hyrule, and then ... Yeah, interestingly enough, there's a lot of parallels between him and Zant here. Probably not, Blade Travel. He probably never actually understood what he was going to do after he took Hyrule back in Ocarina. I doubt it ever even occurred to him. Claim the luscious, you know, rich kingdom of Hyrule. And then what? Oh, this is like a 4-phase fight. I love this moment right here. So, first we fight Zelda. Now we have a battle for Link. Kind of. It's actually more like this is a battle for Midna, but like, my point is, this was tutorialized at the very beginning of the game. This is also a nice example of the reverse one-winged angel, which is something that happens very, very, very rarely in fiction. The idea behind the reverse one-winged angel is that rather than being your typical one-winged angel, which is screw you, I'm going to kill you no matter what. Come on. Come on. There we go. There's actually a couple of ways to do this fight, consequently. But rather than do, you know, like your typical one-winged angel, the idea here is that you start off using your big, sweeping, you know, wide power, which is, of course, weaker than you going full tilt and actually trying. Best expressed by the phrase, oh, I have to actually try with you. And we can also bite him. There's a couple ways this fight could go. It's actually probably one of the better mechanical fights of this final boss barrage. Other than the last one, of course. I'm not a big fan of this song, but it suits the scene. Like the way to put that. Actually, yes, Czar. This is big, flashy, and inefficient, which, if that sounds familiar, then congrats, you've watched me fight Zant. Good question, Bionic Punk. Probably both, honestly. I do like how he retains the scar. It's a common motif with this particular Ganondorf, and of course thematically significant, because that scar has never left him, literally and metaphorically. The physical scar the sages tried to use to murder him, execute him, and the scar that was left on him by his failure. Similar to the Wind Waker Ganondorf, he never actually moved on. So Rishi returns the Triforce of Wisdom to Zelda. Princess. I... Say nothing, Midna. Your heart and mine were as one, however briefly. Such suffering you have endured. It makes a degree of sense, considering how the Triforces kind of do their own thing. Regardless of what we want. Well, considering that that's a completely different character, Vandalia. I'm not sure there was a pass for him to move on from. Although, interestingly enough, the Ganondorf from LTTP was a Ganondorf denied. I like how she teleports them away. It's a nice little step here. So, Ganondorf is pretty powerful. And there's a concept called, Warfing. So, Midna now has the complete fused shadow. The central artifact of the Twilight people. And she's a pretty strong mage. But that's Ganondorf, and he still has the Triforce of Power. I really wish we could have seen this fight, by the way. They don't show it to us, but it makes perfect sense that Ganondorf could beat her, because of course he could. There's just nothing stronger than Ganon, who's already a powerful warlock and warrior, empowered by the Triforce of Power. Remember, Triforce is the highest on the priority list. So, this is Phase 3. Mounted. See that? Yeah, that's an ancient artifact. Yeah. Alright, Bragwin. Let's carry this sucker to victory. And notice how Ganondorf isn't really using any subtlety in his tactics either. He's just running over everything because he's strong enough to do that. I mention that because if you remember, it was the Wind Waker Ganondorf who actually used tactics. To great effect, I might add. Wind Waker Ganondorf nearly won 3 separate times. This guy is just running over us. Or trying to. Stop calling me that. I do like how she's humble here. I do. This Zelda has a nice bit of characterization for how few scenes she has. So, sorry for the delay. Phase 3. So she's gonna go ahead and try to hit him with the arrows. We're gonna try and hit him with the sword. And guess where we are? Yes, that's right. It's that gigantic-ass field whose only purpose is to exist for mounted combat, as I've pointed out twice now. Hold it steady. Damn it. I was trying to hold it steady. Couldn't quite hold it steady. Stay on target. Stay on target. There we go. I actually got him. This is more of a spectacle fight than an actual boss fight. The next fight... We'll get there. By the way, notice time has advanced in the sky around us here. Also, you can see pretty much the entirety of all the 4 realms. 5 realms? Whatever. All of the landmarks from this area. Very deliberate, I'm sure. An impressive looking blade, but nothing more. Yeah, keep in mind, he actually has no idea what the Master Sword is. My desire is to take this foul blade and use it to blot out the light forever. And yeah, he's no longer going to... He is now trying. Finally, finally, finally. The reverse one-winged angel. I've got a fishing rod! Ah! So this guy has a lot of moves, and no matter what I do, I will not show all of them off. Because he's just got so many, and it reacts to so many different types of interactions. He also has a counter for almost every move you have. It's not always a counter that works. Fishing rod! Yeah, Demise is this, but worse in pretty much every way. And of course, jabs are some of the most effective shots at him, counterintuitively, because of his wound. He's also got more reach than you. By quite a bit, actually. He gets more aggressive as he gets lower in health, too. Which ironically makes him a bit easier. Because he can counter easier. See what I mean? It took longer than I thought it would, but I still did it. No thanks, Ross. I'm good. And of course, the Master Sword pierces the wound. Quite literally getting past his defenses. Love that fight. Okay, so negative for this. Because this is so... I'm sorry. The moment that even the people who made the game have no idea what's going on in this cutscene is the moment you've officially lost me. Aonuma himself doesn't know what's happening in this cutscene because the person who wrote it, and I quote, was someone who had a bit of a streak, like an independent and rebellious streak, and just decided to go ahead and do some random thing that person has never actually explained what it means. So we have no idea what this means, and it's dumb. Moving on. So yes, the history of light and shadow will be written in blood. That's true, Frieza. In which case, negative to story for being a dumb cutscene. I hate this cutscene. You're not going to change my mind on this. This is so stupid. Like, here's Zant for some reason. And then Zant, like, breaks his own neck and Ganondorf dies. I have no idea what's going on here, and neither do you. Nobody does. That's the problem. I do like that he dies on his feet, though. So now we got the negativity out of the way. And yes, I put the iron boots on for a reason. I apologize. I'm not sorry at all. But, you know. Sorry. Not sorry. Man, he's strong. My God. Them feet. So here's Minda's true form. Yay. Oh no, she's hot! Sorry. I mean, wouldn't you move that fast if that was what was waiting for you? Like, for real, couldn't we have had more of this and have her just be a full-on mage and do cool things with her instead of her being in the ending? Give us more Minda! Say something. Am I so beautiful you've no words left? Also, will they, won't they? But no, these two totally were in love with her. I'm sorry. It's 100% there. Just on the... Not even counting the manga, which is the manga. These two were totally together. Give me a break. Yep, nope. Close the game right now. We did it. The end. Minda lives happily ever after. With Link. The end. I would love to give the upcoming cutscene a negative, but I kind of can't. Because it's a good scene. But it's still terrible and I hate it. Sure thing, Act. Why don't we let the scene play first? Then we'll get to it. First we have to have our, you know, everyone's awesome ending. I mean, yeah, pretty much, Diane Keto. It's a good scene, but it's not what I wanted to have happen, you know? And I'm not even ashamed of that one. That's a good question, Ross. Who knows? I mean, this is... Timeline aside, this is the end for this particular timeline. We don't have any games after this one. No, we don't. Spirit Tracks is the end of one. No, Anarchomaxis, no. Spirit Tracks is the end of one. And Twilight Princess is the end of the other, and that's it. Just shaking my head at all y'all. Aww. I think there's more they could do with this. Because, ignoring the cutscene that's going to come up, there's still some room for this to go somewhere. Wind Waker ended kind of on a similar point, and then rather wisely decided to go ahead and see what happened next. Not with Phantom, but with Spirit Tracks. Spirit Tracks ended rather definitively, in a way that I'm satisfied with. This kind of doesn't. Twilight ends in a way that absolutely leaves several threads dangling. The Yeti! Sorry. Yeah, exactly, Ross. Like, there's... Oh, the heart. There's a lot they could do with this. And they haven't, because next was Skyward, which is the reboot, or the intended reboot. And then Link Between Worlds, which was good, but that follows through on the other timeline, LTTP, the other arc. And then we had Breath, which was another reboot. And Tears, which is a sequel to Breath, so... And Echoes, which is probably in the 2D verse again, based on the fact that they're totally in the Link to the Past Hyrule again. Oh, I hated it, Diane Keto. I hated every second of it. I was so just frustrated the entire time. Yeah, Hyrule Warriors does its own thing. I mean, every Zelda game does its own thing, or most Zelda games do their own thing. Negative to story. All right. Sorry. I guess this is farewell, huh? Yep. Nope. Turn the... There we go. We're done. Light and shadow can't mix, as we all know. Which, by the way, she says that. But actually, she's really wrong, and that's not just me being, like, you know, my usual self. The game itself has proven several times that light and shadow actually mix quite well, and in fact, most of the good that's been happening in this game hasn't been because light and shadow mixed. Ganondorf even comments on it right before his boss battle, right? And the fact that she's standing there right now is quite literally proof of her being wrong about that. I get where she's coming from, which is where the tragedy is coming in here. But she is objectively wrong. Never forget that there's another world bound to this one, and Low Rule. And the Dark World, which is actually the Sacred Realm. And then there's the Phantom guys. I don't know what's up with the Phantom Ocean. Then there's, like, New Hyrule. It's, like, a few miles that way. We've also got, like, the Underground. Anyways. Shadow and light are two sides of the same coin. Yeah, you're dumb. One cannot exist without the other. Alright, Termina, that's that. You can just go into the woods, go down a bit. I know now the reason the goddesses left the Mirror of Twilight in this world. They left it because it was their design that we should meet. And, like, re-merge, and, like, you can come back, and we can visit, and we can start establish trade, you know, have a cultural outreach program. Maybe get, like, a passport thing where you have to take, like, a soul with you, which helps you to sustain yourself in the light realm. We can make this work, is what I'm trying to say. Like, I do actually like how Zelda flat out says, no, we should totally be together. And Midna's response is, Zelda, your words are kind and your heart is true. If all in Hyrule are like you, maybe you'll do all right. Who has the Triforce of Power now? It's back with the Triforce, which also, based on how this goes, means Link has probably lost his, and Zelda has probably lost hers. Well, the princess spoke truly. As long as the mirror's around, we could meet again. Why would you say that? For God's sakes, she's casting with her own tear. See you later. I mean, yeah, no, you see why I hate this. It's needlessly tragic. Lord knows I can enjoy a dark story and a tragic story or a tragic ending, but this is so pointless. For God's sakes, just let them have some happiness together. You know one thing I commented on? I was actually thinking about this cutscene when we were reviewing Link to the Past. Because I commented during that, I don't know if you caught it, about how nice it was to just have a solidly, definitively, happily ever after. A happy ending to that story. Remember that? And it was nice to have that without having the need for needless tragedy or bittersweetness for no additional reason. This is the exact thing I was thinking of when I was saying that. Because if you're going to have a bittersweet ending, that can work. Usually, yeah, honestly, it usually does work. There's a lot of fiction that makes that work. But this is so pointless. So, you know what? I've changed my mind. I am giving this a story negative. Because this makes it makes so little sense, regardless of my personal feelings on the matter. It is a needless, tacked-on bit of tragedy, which it flies in the face of the major dominant theme of the entire game. Now, I get that she's afraid, but that just means we need to be like, all right, hang on. Hold up. Midna, let's talk about this. You don't need to do this. Who wrote this ending? I don't know. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Batman Arkham Knight DLC, Mr. Freeze and his wife. That's a bittersweet ending. No spoilers, but that worked very well. This, what the hell? Yeah, and I'm trying not to have this affect the review, because remember, this is also bad for a meta reason. It pretty much locks Midna away from the setting. And, spoilers, other than a cameo in Hyrule Warriors, she has not been back. Now, part of the problem here, too, let's go ahead and say this as bluntly as we can. One of the biggest reasons we like Midna is because she's a character. Let's all own up to that. She's a good character, but she is a character. And that is something the Zelda franchise sadly lacks in most cases. We have memorable characters like in Majora's Mask or in Wind Waker. We have good supporting cast like in Link to the Past or Link Between Worlds. But individual characters who have arcs and development and growth, that's rare in this franchise. And Midna was pretty much our best character we've ever had. So you don't really have to bring Midna back necessarily. That's fine. But how many fully fleshed out three-dimensional characters have come out since then? Tingle, of course. Now, we have had a couple of two-dimensional characters. Zelda in Breath of the Wild and the champions in Breath of the Wild. I would also give you Groose in Skyward and Hilda in Link Between Worlds. But none of those come close to this. Ah, Iwata, F. Sorry, that... Early death to a good man. Actually, yeah, I think this was the first major Zelda that Iwata presided over. I could be wrong about my timeline, but that sounds right. Iwata didn't get involved until after Wind Waker had come out, and here we are with Twilight. The HD version came out 7 years ago? Something like that. They did, Drakaji. You know, that's a good question, Ross. We have to delve into the Mario RPGs to really get into that kind of thing. He's to blame for Skyward. Technically, yes. As usual, Bionic Punk, I do not know. So for those of you who are named Walker and are giving me a sub right now, thank you very, very much for the sub, Walker. Always appreciate. For the rest of you, for those of you not aware, my life is in a massive state of flux right now, which is extremely stressful. Okay, is that a phantom sub? Okay. Big sub. But that means I don't know exactly what I'm doing, and most importantly, when. We do still have to get the house into saleable state, so that's what I'm going to be doing instead of... And that's just it. It's just... We're back to the intro. So, that's obviously going to be my immediate priority. I am pausing streaming no matter what to work on that. Unless that somehow changes. My sister did mention she has word for me. And has not informed me of what that word is, so who knows on that front. And regardless, one way or another, we're going to go ahead and do the Streamination stuff. So the next streams we'll be doing will be Streaminations, period. starting with Clone Wars Season 7, unless we start on a Saturday, because Saturdays are locked away for Arcane.
This is going to be...
Ah, that's commentated. I don't like commentated. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so. And that will start... I don't know, Walker. I don't know. I don't know. When I hit stream, that's when the new streams are starting. I don't know before that, okay? The stream editions will start the moment I hit stream start. Please stop asking that question. If I had an answer to you, I would have already given it to you. I haven't done any of the audit at all. So we're going to be here like half an hour. There's a lot of points to go through. This is GameCube, I'm pretty sure. But don't quote me on that. There is an audit sheet. You can even see the audit sheet, actually. It's publicly available. Exclamation mark audit. Good morning, Sapacom. You missed a ship being killed for no good reason. Okay, it's a dumb scene anyways. Any percent for this game? Oh, jeez. On the GameCube, isn't that like 40 minutes? Something like that? I'm glad you've been enjoying it, Anarcho-Marxist. I apologize for not having control of my own life. Really, Ross? Wow. It's actually way later than I thought. See, this is a task that's all dungeons. That's 2 hours and 44 minutes. That's funny considering how badly that scored off the deeper end. Hey, Captain Vice. Thank you very, very much for the sub. We will see what happens. Today, probably. First thing that's gonna happen is I'm gonna go try to get my tags renewed. So I don't have to deal with that during the move. Could you imagine? That would just be a hassle and a half. And appreciate the support. If you want to put that towards anything in particular, please let me know. It's okay, it'll actually be really simple and easy because I'm being on top of it. Listen, we gotta get those ass shots in. So you were watching a task of this game while I do some paperwork off your Twitch account. That's what's happening. This is a semi-recent thing I've been doing to try and keep it more interesting. While I do the paperwork to make it more interesting. Because sometimes I try to do at least some of this paperwork off camera, but I haven't had time lately. So... I mean, if you want to watch the Chrono Trigger task, I'm just saying, it's right there. Most character positives to a Zelda game, by the way. Does not surprise me. At least at the moment. So... if you type ! Audit, it might make more sense if you just look at what I'm doing off your Twitch account. If you're on a mobile, then that's not going to help you. I think you can, Ross. I don't see why you can't. It's pretty boring. So, what I'm doing right now, there's a nice big spreadsheet, and I keep track of how many positives and negatives every game has gotten for every category that we keep track of. Every now and again, it doesn't actually happen all that often, we actually add new categories, in which case there are now new columns to fill out. The reason I use X's is because it's easier to program that way. There is a script running, which makes it so that each type of... it checks for input in cells. 1X gets orange, 2X's gets red, 3X's gets purple, anything above, which is a number, which is 4 and above, actually, specifically, gets teal. That's mostly there for me. It's quick and efficient visual shorthand. The idea is to be able to look at that and immediately tell that's a 2, that's a 3, that's a 1, that's a 4 plus. Z is the exact same thing, and opposite. 1Z is 1 negative, 2Z's is 2 negative, 3Z's is 3 negative, and then numbers again. And we keep track of all this wonderful stuff. Because, I mean, of course I do. I suppose some people don't actually know this, so forgive me for saying stuff that some of you already know. I put a lot of work into making sure that these reviews are as accurate as possible, and one of the ways I do that is by having this spreadsheet. This is here to track all of the positives and negatives we've given, to be a quick and easy cross-reference across every game that we have reviewed so far, because all of them are in that sheet. They're there to prompt, because, you know, sometimes you just forget stuff when you're going through, especially in a longer game. So maybe there's something you didn't actually write down, or something that you didn't track, or whatever. Yeah, by the way, you guys thought I was kidding about the GameCube version being blurry. Remember how many of you were like, oh man, the HD version looks barely different? No, I'm never playing the original again. This is just headache-inducing. There's not a lot of branching narratives in games. That's part of the reason why it gets its own separate categories, because it's rare enough to warrant commentary. Yeah, the bloom's even worse too. Isn't this great? So what I do is, the first thing I do, and I'm doing it right now, is I look at all the positives and negatives we've already given right now. And I just enter those into the sheet. Then we actually start the audit. So this is the boring paperwork side of things. All we're doing is filling out the positives and negatives we've already codified. That then helps me to actually do the audit. And the audit's exactly what it sounds like. That's making sure everything is what it should be. Is there anything we skipped? Is there anything that's too positive or too negative as compared to other games? stuff like that. That's why it's nice to have that visual shorthand. And you'll also notice that the audit sheet is organized by genre, so I can immediately look at other games that are similar immediately without having to scroll too far. I suppose that's actually an outro, isn't it? I've also got a separate program I run nowadays to help me to keep this organized, because if you pay attention to the top rows, they are alphabetized. But obviously what I like to do, and I prefer to do, and this is actually a semi-recent change a few months ago, is I like to put in the positives in the document in order of the game, so that it's more parsable and readable to someone reading through the actual individual positives and negatives for when they want to look and see, okay, you know, what was the actual score. So, as a direct consequence, I have something else that alphabetizes it to make it a lot easier to put in alphabetical order, because otherwise it's a whole, like, this whole process takes 2 or 3 times as long. You know how it is. You develop over time. And yes, obviously we can only really give positives to something like Babylon 5 effect, or indeed several branching things on games that we already know. There's not really a lot that we could do to bypass that. I do a lot of research and paperwork for trying to keep my games up to date, but if it's a game I've never played before, it's kind of hard for me to pick up a Babylon 5 effect, because I've never played it the second time, right? That's how it is. But yes, all of this stuff gets backported into the website, the documents, and so, like, for those of you who know how that works, on loreorder.com, there's a review page. You can find it by just typing !review right now, or just going to the website and clicking the review button that's right at the top, and also on the side. That review button leads you to the sheet, which is the nice, quick, easy, sortable table. You can sort that by each column to see where games are alphabetically, or in terms of which specific aspect of the review system is scoring how well. If you then click the individual video link there, that links you to the VODs themselves, and if you click the actual game, you can pull up something that shows you the actual document, which I type up, which shows all of the pluses and negatives in spoilery fashion, so you can actually read all the individual pluses and negatives and decide for yourself how valid and relevant it is. And it's done that way on purpose, so that's kind of a tiering system. If you don't care about... Whoops. I need to fix that. If you don't care about... My god, 37 pluses to level design. That's a record. That crushes. If you don't care about, like, the specific individual reasons of a game, all you care about is the number, you got the review document. If you care about, like, some of the individual points, you can just pull up the document itself. If you care about, like, why the gameplay scored such a way, you can actually look at the spoiler system. All of that is designed to be tiered, so it's all up to you how much you engage with the review system itself. It's also extremely sortable. I use my own website to search and organize stuff, because it's very, very, very sortable and very, very searchable. Like, sometimes someone will be like, hey, where's the VOD for such and such? I'll just pull up the reviewed page and click the video link, and then give them that link. Like, here you go. Correct, Bionic Punk. Look, it's not my fault Minda's awesome, okay? I don't know what you want from me. So, see, this is part of the reasons why we do this, is because I made a mistake. And that's okay, we can fix that mistake. It's nice and easy to fix, because the system's designed to be pretty modular. There's a lot going on, but you know me. I'm good at this kind of thing, so... Alright, so... replayability. Let's just start with the big thing, the question that I always ask y'all. How replayable do we feel this game is? Now, let's get that out of the way right now. It does not earn the third replay positive. It can't. What do you think about the first two? It doesn't have New Game Plus. It doesn't have, like, super random modes or anything like that. I was leaning towards alongside Ocarina. For effectively the exact same reasons. It does actually have hero mode. It does exactly what hero mode usually does, although it flips it as kind of a joke to the Wii version. But it flips things and it doubles the damage you take. I will admit this game is certainly longer than Ocarina. I'm not sure by how much yet, because I haven't done that particular math yet. I'm still at the first step of the audit. If the cutscenes were skippable, that might be even worse. Oh god, flip mode for breath. Alright, go east. Ah! Yeah, I wish it didn't flip the game. I get why they did it in ha ha ha, but could you not? It's just disorienting for no reason. Skull Kid, do you mind? One thing I like to do, too, is I like to cross-reference certain things. I'll give you a specific example. Right now I'm checking how we scored the dual claw shot over in Skyward Sword. As expected, we gave the dual claw shot its own positive, which means it absolutely gets it here as well. Yes, this is the same Skull Kid. Having fun with his friend's great-great-great-grandson, I believe? Oh god, the TAS has got to be losing it at how slow this section is. No, we're not even at that step yet. The golden number is the very last step of this process, for good reason. We're about to approach the first audit step, the actual audit step. Oh, it totally does, Bionic Punk. I never thought about that before, but you're right. Right now, could someone do me a favor, look up the score for Link Between Worlds, because that's our, that's the finish line right there. Also, I like how he's 20 minutes in and he's about to get the Master Sword before doing the first dungeon. It makes the rest of the game a lot faster. Now, what's funny is you can't skip cutscenes in the GameCube version. Thank you. 351.13. So hang on, we got... I think that's it, actually. So that's 1, 2. Alright, so now we do the audit proper. Now that we've got all the existing things entered, now we just kind of go through. So what I usually do is I literally just, I make sure I'm in the row. And I just start tapping right. So I've already given animation positives, atmosphere positives. There's no real Babylon 5 effect to speak of. Not a lot of background lore. No real banter. Actually, I'm going to contest that. I think there is some banter. Let's give a banter positive for all the little stuff that Midna can say to you. Because unlike most of the other banter we've seen in the other 3 games here, Midna's banter is usually interesting and helps characterize her, so plus to that. Branching narrative, no, of course not. Brickwork we've already covered, camera work we've already covered, characters we've already covered, cutscenes we've already covered. Cutscene incompetence. There's only really that one instance, it was pretty minor, so I think I'm going to pass over that. Dialogue. I don't think the dialogue by itself is worthy of a positive. So we're going to skip over that. Most of the things I would consider that were already covered by the localization and Midna herself. Doodads, we've already covered that. Second best doodads in the series, beaten only by Minish Cap, of course. Empty text, none, actually. External continuity, great, just like Wind Waker. The only real Zeldas with really good external continuity. Fake drama, yes, but I already gave the negative for that. I suppose I could qualify that here, so we'll put fake drama here. That's not actually doubling up on the negative, that's just classifying it as both outro and fake drama. No negative for the cursed looking people, other than the one I already gave. Foreshadowing. There's actually a lot of foreshadowing in this one, but it's also not super relevant, so I think we'll give 1 positive for that. 1 plus for foreshadowing. Humor. What do y'all think? Humor. Yeah, Witcher 3 would get dialogue positives at the wazoo, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know, because, like, I'm trying to think if there's any scenes that really make me laugh in this one. It's not like Wind Waker where, you know, Link has multiple bits of humor throughout the course. Like, you remember the bit where it's like, we're rising the tower, and Link just kind of splats on it and then slowly slides up. That was funny, right? But this, no, I don't think this qualifies. So I think we'll skip over that. Let's see. Integration we already covered. Internal continuity we already covered. The intro is long since covered. Lighting. Now this is lighting from a narrative perspective. I don't think I'm going to give a plus or a negative there. Not from a narrative perspective. It's actually pretty rare we give lighting positives on the story axis. We've done it. Subnautica is a good example of that. Or Bloodborne, believe it or not, is another one. Or Outer Wilds. Oh my god. Anyways, so, Ori 2. So, yeah, from a narrative perspective, nah, I don't think that works. Localization, we already covered that. Moments are good. MSQ, we already kind of covered that. It's kind of a catch-all category. Music direction is excellent. Not as good as Majora, but still very good. NPC set dressing is pretty good. The outro is fantastic. Not as good as Wind Waker's, but still very good. Narrative pacing. So, I've been chewing on this. I think I want to give a plus. No. I want to give 2 pluses and a negative to narrative pacing, and here's the reasoning. The story is exceptionally well paced, from the simple, farm village to being stuck in wolf form and then trying to fix the local things, and we're chasing after the kids, and then we rescue the kids, and we find out about the greater problem, and then Zant does his big thing, and then then it just kind of stops for a while. And I was chewing on this because there was some pushback, but I feel like that third act just doesn't work pacing wise when it comes to the narrative, and then it comes back to being good. So 2 pluses, 1 negative, I think. And I will type up more. Like right now, you'll notice on the actual document, because I'm in a hurry, I'm just typing up pacing and nothing else. For those of you who have actually looked at the website, when it comes to the website, I type up full thoughts as much as I can for each positive and each negative, so that when someone's actually reading the website version of the document, they can see what I mean when I say pacing positive, right? So, padding, no. Plot, not really. Prime Op, there's no Prime Op in this game. Princess Peach sections, not to speak of. We're gonna cover the secondary quests. Sound design, that means a lot to me that people actually check the website. I could do a whole side rant right now about how people don't really do websites anymore. Everyone just goes to YouTube, Reddit, Facebook, or just Googles it. So it's nice to see that some people actually go to my website that I spend a lot of time and effort maintaining. Thank you. Sound design, narratively. Yes, I feel like we've got at least enough creepy, weird, atmospheric stuff to qualify there. Hi, Brigwin. Sprite work. I cannot in good conscience give any sprite work positives to this game. Everybody just looks too ugly and too weird. I'm sorry. But yeah, thank you for explaining why we're not giving any sprite work positives. So we're just gonna skip over that. Story sequencing. Pretty good, actually. We'll give a story sequencing positive. Really, Rex? Yeah, it's a little uncanny valley. Yeah, it's just, it doesn't work. Unlike Wind Waker, which got a triple sprite work positive, because stylized or no, they did a great job with it over there. Yeah, the only characters in here who might qualify is like Link, Zelda, Ganondorf, Zant, and Midna. That's pretty much the list. So, no. Themes. Well, as much as I would like to disagree, there are actually two very strong themes here, so I'll go and give a plus for each. Visual continuity, not really. Visual storytelling already covered. Voice acting, just not really many. So that's it. So that leaves us with plus 80 to story. I put that under the moment and the outro, late of all. But you are correct, of course. I believe this is our highest story score. I'm not looking at the document right now, so I can't tell you. Or the review page. If you check the review page on lorerunner.com, you can sort by story. Or you can sort by name, and then just see all the Zeldas. I actually made a point to put Zelda at the beginning of all of these games, so it's easier to sort on the review sheet. So it's like Zelda Minish Cap, Zelda Wind Waker, Zelda 1, Zelda 2. Just to make sure that it's easier to parse that way. What am I doing? Right. Okay, so we win on the story axis. That does not surprise me. Not really. By about the midway point, I realized this was probably going to beat Wind Waker in story. And by the ending, yeah. Oh, absolutely, King Jigger. This is still a great game. Just because I'm more aware of its flaws doesn't mean I dislike it more. After all, I am also more aware of its positives. That's something a lot of people tend to miss. I occasionally get comments of people like, you don't like games anymore, you're too negative. And those people miss the fact that because you are zooming the camera in more, being more analytical, and being more review conscious, the positives go up too, right? You notice more good things. Random example, and I think Ross will appreciate this, the Caretaker episode, the first episode of Voyager, it's actually a lot better episode than I remembered. We actually finished that last night. And it was legit. I won't go into details because nobody wants to hear that right now, but zooming in helped with that. Where the hell? So I'm looking for a file. There it is. Exactly, King Jigger. You get it. Okay, so we started this on Friday. So this is a 4-day game. Let's figure out how long it was, shall we? Very dense game, which I like. Admittedly, that's a little bit of, I don't know. I used to mention every positive and negative, and then people didn't care about the positive, so I just kind of slowly got out of that habit of being quite as vocal about it, unless I'm really gushing. Like during the outro of Wind Waker, or the outro of this game, or the dungeons that were awesome. Here's a fun factoid. Wind Waker was 22.74 hours long. This game was 26.4. So this game is over 4 hours long, excuse me, under 4 hours longer, but felt much shorter. Which once again goes into that, you know, games have to feel, well, you have to not feel long. The actual length doesn't really matter. In fact, Skyward Sword was longer than this too. Majora's Mask was longer than this. Okay, so now we've got a few things here, and that's our story of plus 80. Jesus Christ. That is... what is that? So now we do gameplay. So, let's go down the gameplay tab. Yeah, Majora was longer than Twilight. And we did a bunch of optional stuff in both. I actually did some optional stuff on camera in Twilight. I don't think I told you about that. Okay, so... there's no real branching. There's no real animation positive to speak of. Yeah, I think I'm going to skip over that. Audio spam, nope. Alternate leveling, nope. Backtracking, we've already covered that. Although... hang on a sec. That this is the 7th VOD, Great Hillian. That's a pretty widely requested feature, and it was useful for the highlights and it was useful for the shorts. Bestiary, none. Bosses already covered. Bugs, none to speak of, other than the ones we all got. No builds to speak of. Cameras, wash, honestly. No built-in cheats, no choices, no co-op. Controls already covered. Core combat's already covered. Core mechanics don't exist. Doesn't exist, doesn't. A lot of these don't apply to every type of game, so sometimes there's just nice big empty gaps of yep. Scrolling forward. Counter rate doesn't really exist here. We already covered that, we already covered that, we already covered that. There's no end game to speak of, no post game to speak of, no optional content to speak of. No gotcha to speak of. We didn't have to grind, anything like that. Guidance is covered under other positives. The HUD. This is like an example of something I just completely missed. The HUD. Okay. We'll call that one positive. Well, it's a decent enough HUD, and it skips the problem that Wind Waker had, where Wind Waker put most of the HUD down on the controller, which I was not a big fan of. Having to do this to see where I was at was not fun. Twilight actually put most of it on the screen, which I appreciate. Doesn't apply, doesn't apply, doesn't apply. A lot of this doesn't apply. Itemization. I'm going to give 1+ to itemization. It's decent, but it's not as well designed as, say, some of the Metroids, or even some of the earlier Zeldas. But we did have a decent flow of items. There was some manually placed drops, which is good. And I never ran out of rupees, so we're fine on that. No launch to speak of. No, that. Didn't really use that. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, no kidding. There's no mid game. There's no early game. There's no late game. That doesn't apply. That doesn't apply. I think we'll give a negative to minigames. There's only a few of them. I did several of them off camera, and they're just kind of vacuous to frustrating. But there's only really like 5 of them. Like there's the Kuko thing, there's going down the river raft, there's fishing. There's the claw shot guy, there's the one I'm forgetting right now. He's also in town. Yeah, the canoe game was just, ugh. I honestly don't remember Offshore Church Account. It's a long time ago. Roll Goal. That was the other one. I knew there was another one. There's also snowboarding. So, yeah. Negative to gameplay. Mod support. Yeah, right. You just look at the whole Zelda section, there's no mod support positives. Because, of course, there isn't, because Nintendo doesn't know what modding is. Or they hear modding and they think it's the devil. Only Lucifer would ever actually have mods in a video game. We did get the Rupee Army, yes. Doesn't apply, doesn't apply. It's kind of hard to qualify this as mod hostile. Because actually, so, no, these games are actually quite mod friendly. If you happen to have an emulator version of the game. They don't have mod support, so they get no benefit for that. But they're not actively mod hostile now. Now, they are definitely exclusive to the console, but you get it. Well, the company is mod hostile, but the games are not mod hostile. So let me explain what that means. Mod hostility is about designing a game or an engine or a specific script or program in a way that tries to resist modding. It's the exact opposite of a game being very, very modular. So, for example, Dragon Age Inquisition, to use an infamous example, is very, very mod hostile, just in the code, in the way that that engine, the Frostbite engine, is designed. There's actually a few other engines that are designed in a similar manner. But by contrast, something like, say, Doom wasn't really intended to be as extremely mod-friendly as it was. It was just an extremely modular game, so people could just mod it really, really easily, right? Make sense? That's what I mean when I'm talking about that. Obviously, the company of Nintendo is extremely mod hostile because they're ancient, stupid dinosaurs who wouldn't know the difference between a jar of lemonade and a jar of piss. But it doesn't actually affect the review of the games. Ah, I've got something in my eye. Yeah, no, you can make so many Doom clones, and you can do so much creative. Can I just say real quick, my favorite personal Doom clone is Chex Quest. Shoutouts to anybody who even has any idea what I'm talking about. We already talked about replayability. There's no Raspberry Jam to speak of. I got one person who knows what Chex Quest is. If look it up, it's literally a Chex, yeah, as in Chex Party Mix. They made a freaking Doom clone to help plug Chex, and it's actually a surprisingly good game. It's really short. It's really short. Please do yourself a favor and go watch like the opening cutscene of Chex Mix sometimes. In fact, actually, you know what? You know what? I've still got enough paperwork to do. We might have enough time here. Hang on, I'm sorry. You just, yeah. We're doing this now. I do wish we could have given more kit to Wolf Link. Very blocky for some reason. Don't worry about it. Everyone's very blocky.
On planet Bezoik, launching particles of rock into space. One of these asteroids was captured by the squadron and brought to our labs.
We were investigating these blast globulars as proof of cereal life on other planets when we discovered that they actually contain eggs to an evil cereal-eating creature from another dimension. We call them flemoids. When flemoid eggs are exposed to nutritional substances, the eggs hatch.
Super close up on the donut general there.
We have a nutritional development center in the caverns of Bezoik. They're growing fruit and vegetables, and they haven't had any trouble.
General, 2 days ago we lost contact with Bezoik. We can only assume the flemoids have taken over.
To make matters worse, we have found that conventional weapons seem to have no effect on flemoids.
We need a volunteer to fly to the caverns of Bezoik and attempt a rescue of our citizens there.
That's ridiculous. What soldier would be fool enough to enter a cavern full of unstoppable flemoids from another dimension? By recalibrating the phase frequency of our Zorchers to match that of our transporters, we can send the flemoids back to their own dimension.
We need a volunteer.
I'm from Czech Squadron, and I volunteer.
What's funny is this might predate Buzz Lightyear. I'm not actually 100% on that, of the timeline there. Like, when did Toy Story 1 come out, and when did Chex Quest come out? Can we review this? Yeah, I don't know if I could get this game streamable. I mean, I probably can. You are... Evo! You missed it! You missed it, Evo! You are literally 2 minutes and 42 seconds late. Why? Why, Evo? Why? Go watch the VOD at some point. Okay, so... Oh my god, there you go. So Toy Story predates Chex Quest by 1 year. Oh, that's hysterical. Oh my god. That is hilarious. Back to the task. Oh. And yeah, they just gave the game away in cereal boxes, which is how I got a hold of it. Yeah, she was too busy watching GDQ, a much more talented and interesting thing than me. Thank you all of you who are here watching me instead of watching GDQ. The music is better as a narrative thing than as a gameplay thing, I think, King Jagram. Like, very, very, very few songs I would actually listen to for their own sake, you know what I mean? But there are several I would. It does that same thing Ocarina does. Most of the music in Ocarina is not what I would generally consider good music. It's just really, really good at setting the scene, right? Please stop Canadianing, Evo. I'm asking nicely. Like, I just... Please. If you don't, I won't eat lunch today. Yeah, we'll play the 10-hour Malomart video that Evo actually found. I would never do that to you. I do not believe in torture. You know, I don't actually know Bionic Punk. Nowadays, if I get cereal, I either get shredded wheat, plain shredded wheat, or cinnamon toast. Because they never get all the cool stuff here. Oh, absolutely, Ross. Or rather, the exact opposite of that. I literally came up with a new story idea, and by I mean the Lord Runny, excuse me. Shouldn't take credit for that. The Lord Runny came up with a new story idea to use for the Okampa and the Kazon. And so originally I was going to have the Kazon be a little bit larger scale, but actually I like the idea that the Kazon and the Okampa will pretty much just be in episode 1. Maybe mentioned a few times after that, but they won't come back after the first episode. No, we'll have Kess. Just like we'll have Neelix. Hard mode, right? We have to have all the main characters. Used to the proper country. I used to actually pick which cereals I would ask my parents to buy based on what they had in them. Or if they had, like, Nintendo on them. I made that mistake once. Once. Never again. Red Dead Redemption, Overlord 1, and Wolf Among Us 2, which I... Is that out? Did that ever get made? Either way, thank you very much, Ten-Headed Hydra. Always appreciate. Okay, it's apparently not out yet. Okay, that's what I was wondering. So we had pacing... I knew it, Jolly Leprechaun. That chocolate milk poisoned your brain! Sorry. That's what I thought. Yeah, no, the tears are so much worse in the GameCube versions. Like, just so much worse. Favorite segment of the game? I mean, Snow Peak is still one of my favorites. But I will admit, the Arbiter's Grounds went up, in my opinion, this time around. The Arbiter's Grounds were really, really good. So, you also do those back to back. So, that section of the game, that's the sweet spot right there. My niece has a couple of Kinder toys. Okay, I think that's all of this. Sorry this is taking this long. There's a lot, okay? There's a lot of positives and negatives to cover here. This is why I'm glad I put up the frickin' task. Yeah, I have no idea, Rex. I'm sure it's just an oversight. I can't imagine they did that on purpose. Especially since they fixed that in the HD version. Anything they fixed in the HD version is probably something they didn't do on purpose originally. I did know that, as it happens, King J. Grim. Like, they really encourage you to because, you know, it's so directly tied into the main story quest, but you don't have to finish that. Okay. I believe that's everything. Let me double check something really quick, because I think there's one more thing that's debating. I'm almost done with the audit, I swear. And then we'll do the math, and then we'll be done. it's not like anybody cares about Ilya at that point, alright? Everyone in chat, but we do! Evo cares about Ilya. Evo cares. Yeah, Link has to go hook up with Ilya because, you know, Midna just decided to angst her way out of the story. Okay. Could someone do me a weird favor while I type some stuff up? And could you please tell me what the top 5 games golden numbers are right now, please? On the website. No reason. Okay, thank you. I apologize, I like to triple check, especially right at the end. Lord knows I've made a few mistakes even recently, because there's a few final checks. There's 43 formulas to go through, give me a break. But looks like that is accurate. Yeah, StarCraft 2 kind of broke the system. That's not even a joke. StarCraft 2 was... It was an outlier. It was a statistical outlier. We've never covered a game that has come close to that. That isn't an MMO. It's likely we will never surpass that, to be quite honest. StarCraft 2 was just such a unique confluence of everything. Ladies and gentlemen, for the moment, the end of the Zelda block. Let's talk about this. I've got the whole sheet here. I've got all the Zelda games alongside each other. So at the moment, the king of the Zelda block is Link Between Worlds. That's 34 story, 76 gameplay, and 351 golden number. That is a bonkers good game. Prior to this, the story scores are from bottom to top. We're just going to go through the whole line here. Let's do it. Let's really take our time with this. So Zelda 1 at -3, Zelda 2 at 3, then Oracle of Seasons at 4, Skyward Sword at 5. Sorry. Phantom Hourglass at 6, Oracle of Ages at 10, Spirit Tracks at 13, Link's Awakening at 16, Breath of the Wild at 17, Four Swords Adventures at 17, Link to the Past at 26, Minish Cap at 34, Link Between Worlds at 34, Ocarina of Time at 48, Majora's Mask at 52, Wind Waker at 58. There's a clear trend here. With a couple of exceptions, the 3D games almost always have the highest story scores, and that makes sense, because story was so much more of a focus for them. Even the really good 2D games, like Link's Awakening, Link Between Worlds, and Link to the Past, just don't have the same level of story that the 3D games do. Which, of course, leaves us with Twilight Princess, which I've actually already told you this number, has a plus 80 to story. That is 3 pluses per hour and a 92% ratio of positives. Gameplay. Once again, bottom to top. So Zelda 1 got negative 38. Sorry, hang on. Okay. Zelda 1 got negative 38. Wind Waker got negative 16. Zelda 2 got negative 11. I stand by that, by the way. Oracle of Seasons got negative 3. Spirit Tracks got 2. Oracle of Ages got 9. Skyward Sword got 13. Phantom Hourglass got 16. Breath of the Wild got 25. Link's Awakening got 33. Ocarina of Time got 40. Minish Cap got 50. Link to the Past got 57. Majora's Mask got 58. Four Swords Adventures got 59. And Link Between Worlds got 76. Which brings us to Twilight Princess, which got 88. That is 3.3 pluses per hour and a crazy high gameplay ratio of 83%. Golden number. Zelda 1 at the very bottom at negative 100. Zelda 2 at negative 14. Oracle of Seasons at 2. Spirit Tracks at 29. Skyward Sword at 33. Hang on, that's actually kind of hard to parse. Here we go. Oracle of Ages at 40. Phantom Hourglass at 45. Breath of the Wild at 80. Wind Waker at 90. Link's Awakening at 120. Four Swords Adventures at 199. Minish Cap at 215. Ocarina at 257. Link to the Past at 295, Majora's Mask at 327, Link Between Worlds at 351, and Twilight Princess at 525.75. If I glanced at your guys' information earlier correctly, that is now the 5th best game we've ever reviewed. And I stand by that. It's a damn good game. And the HD version absolutely polishes it up in several small but key ways, like the tiers, like the padding, like the controls, to make it the 5th best game we've covered. Beating Super Metroid is admittedly wild, I do agree with that, but here we are. It's the story. And the near total lack of variance, like that's just crazy high. Yeah, City in the Sky actually dragged it quite a bit down. Go figure. Sorry, I'm curious of something really quick. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, no, the narrative is what carries this. I mean, I should mention Super Metroid does have a higher gameplay score in this, in a game that's 2.7 hours. You know what the gameplay density is of Super Metroid? 33. In case you don't understand what that means, Super Metroid has 33.7 pluses to gameplay per hour. I did, Ross. You're absolutely right. So, on the off chance you've been living under a rock... Oh, sorry, Sean won. That reminds me, Sean, you put it towards Shantae Advance and Red Redemption, but what is Spectacular Spider-Man? Yeah, for now, the Zelda block is getting close. We are not playing tiers today or tomorrow. Yes, I highly recommend watching either the Starfield review or reading the Starfield review or watching the Starfield video. If that's the TV show, then that needs to be changed. That's why I'm asking it, because I feel like that's the show and there are no more shows. Anyways, so we're doing the shows next. I don't know when we're going to get back to getting to shows. I don't know when I'm going to be streaming again. Under any circumstances. I could be streaming tomorrow for all I know. Or a week from now, or a month from now, or 3 months from now. That's probably on the outside, I would say. Obviously, that's going to suck for pretty much all the reasons. But either way, I will try to give some kind of announcements on the channel, on the YouTube channel, and on Discord for when we're getting a little bit closer to actually being ready to go for Streaminations. There's also a near total chance that we'll be doing them from my phone, because my computer might be in my car at the time. So, either way, I hope you have a good however long this is. I'll see you next time.